I heard the voice and then I
Good.
looked at you.
Hey, I have a lot less going on.
Aerodynamic, but Jared form.
Very aerodynamic. It's tell you what, it's cold around the ears. So it was a good couple of days in Melbourne, but it's still cold around the ears.
Yeah. Do you find that you're colder when you sleep?
I've only had the one.
From the one experience that you've had.
From the one experience I've had, it was pretty cold on this side of my ear because I sleep this way. It's very cold.
To wake up and it was just a bit chilly.
I like forget. Like I wake up and I went like that, and I was like, "Whoa!"
I think waking up the next morning after a haircut is by far one of the best wake ups ever.
But it's the most confusing though, because sometimes you forget. Then like you open your phone and you like look at Snapchat and you like turn on the thing and then you're just like fucking.
That was me the next morning after when I shaved my head. I thought I had the bold filter on.
You were like, what is happening?
I'm sorry. Am I fucking dreaming? What's this about?
What is this? What happens to us on the weekend? The weekend, there's no footy. We just lose our fucking minds. No AFL men's footy, that is. We just lose our minds and just fucking don't know what to do with ourselves.
That was really put to the test prior to pressing recording as well.
Yeah,
We really pushed the boundaries of our conversations. Well, I did.
I just listened.
It wasn't so much Jared. He was just looking at me weirdly. Anyway,
Anyway,
you know what could break the ice? Break the table.
That's the play of the game. That is the play of the game. Time!
From the impossible angle, and he puts it through importantly.
Danger, 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 danger. Butler, 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 Butler.
Get around him! Get around him! Edge of the seat.
Hello, Jared. Welcome to episode 26. And guess what? Finals week.
it is finals week. This is the last one that comes out before both of our sides play in some finals.
Yeah.
We when this comes out, the next time you guys see me or hear me, I will either be very sad
Hmm.
or unbelievably happy.
I really hope that you'll be happy because you obviously get one chance. And then for us, it's just kind of like if we win, I probably still might not be here from the bender that I'm on. But
Yep,
if we lose, I'll be upset. But like,
still there.
we're here next week.
And let me just tell you, right, if anyone's listening to this, either from Adelaide or from Melbourne, if either St Kilda or Port Adelaide win, or both, come find us. We'll be out in our own respective cities for probably a long time.
I'll show you around town.
Come find me Saturday night somewhere if St Kilda win. I don't know where, but I'll be some.
I'll tell you where I'll be. The table upstairs at the casino. Probably talking to whoever's behind the table, handing me the chips, the coloured ones, special edition teal.
Feeling real good.
Feeling real good about myself too.
Let me tell you though, like I will be going to the casino to test my luck if St. because if you see me at the St Kilda game, I won't be in a good way for one. Because I think I'm gonna need a drink to get through it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to
Yeah,
handle it.
yeah.
So then even if we don't win, even if we lose, you could probably find me somewhere.
So this is yeah, well, not actually. I won't say that, but you know, I'll be in a place. Actually, I've got a silly Saturday, so
So you'll be,
I'll be in a
yeah,
state. I'll be
you'll be
in the
out.
state with a state.
Yep.
If we win, come find me. If we lose, probably not going to be in a position where I want to talk to you.
Nah, especially if you come over being like, bad luck, mate. I'll be like, fucking show you
Bad
bad luck.
luck. I'll show you. Yeah. Cop a knee to your head. I reckon if you tried your luck at the casino, you'd probably put it on the margin that you won by as well.
Yeah, like that'd be your number all day on that table. Unless it's more than 36, in which case, fucking good on yous. But like,
No, but like if you can win by like say 44,
mm,
then you could do like three lots.
or you just do fours. Like you're
Just
like clearly fours a thing. Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
you could do that. Or you could be like you won by 44 and it's like 7 goals too. So you do 7-2.
Yeah. Nice. I like it.
Don't really overthink it, to be honest.
No, don't overthink it. Figure it out in the night. It's fine.
Just hope your team wins by less than 36.
Let's just hope first. No, I'd rather not. I'd rather we win by like 140. But anyway, that's fine.
And it's over at quarter time.
That'd be elite. Like a drink, no fucking worries whatsoever the rest of the three quarters.
So is this what you've been thinking about your whole bye week?
Pretty much. It's been me being like, fuck, imagine if we actually win. Because it's me being like, okay, so that day is going to be big if we win. But then I also have to think about the fact that as the siren goes of the Port Brisbane game, I then have to buy flights to. It's,
I know you're actually either going to go to Brisbane or Adelaide.
yeah, I'm either going to Brisbane or Adelaide, probably the week after, if I like, if I can. Um, and I'm gonna need to be switched on to it. I have to figure out what's going on.
Jeez.
Uh,
I kind of hope you play in Brisbane.
I hope we win first off, and then
Well, yes, but like,
yeah,
because the only positive about you coming here is me seeing you. Other than that,
yeah.
there is
That's
no
the
other
thing.
positive.
Like, that's the thing. If I go to Adelaide, like, if it ends up being Port St Kilda, it means that yes, I get to see you, and I get to be back at the Adelaide Oval, which I love. But then other than that,
Uh,
goes to shit. So
I hope your trip's horrible.
it it likely will be. So let's just see how we go.
1 week at a time, as they say, the old
One
footy
week at a
cliche.
time. The old fucking media PR book. 1 week at a time.
Full credit to the lads for getting us
Full credit
here.
to the
One
lads.
week
Do
at
it
a
1 week
time
at a
from
time.
now.
Keep it inside the four walls and really knuckle down and just fucking. We'll see how we go.
Actually, speaking of knuckling down, um, just before we get into everything, the TikTok that we've put up this week has gone gangbusters for multiple reasons. One, I've had so many DMs from mates saying, Jared really got to stop drinking. One of the comments is my personal favorite is, stay on the beers, lad. This is a
Oh,
terrible
the beers,
idea.
lad. It's a terrible idea. That comment, whoever put that comment, if you're a regular viewer or listener, whoever put that comment saying stay on the beers is a terrible idea, you actually like fully rattled me. Like I looked at that and I was like, that is not so good. Like I had no answer. Like it was just killed me. Killed me.
It's
Really
very
funny
funny.
though.
I was looking at it
Just so
today.
everyone's aware, just so everyone is aware. I was kidding, right? Like, if you actually actively think that I think 6:30 a.m. footy is a good idea, you've got fucking rocks for brains. Because, like, that is obviously not a good idea. And, like, I had so many people message me being like, what are you fucking thinking? I was like, okay, first off, I said it as a joke, 7 beers deep, and then repeated it on a podcast. And it's obviously a joke. Come on.
It's so
Anyway, went
good.
crazy. So, yeah, thanks.
You know what's funny is the fact that I asked the question as well, what would like AM footy be like? And then that's like, oh, if you live in Perth, it's every week.
Just how you roll. Imagine a 110 game in West Coast. You wake up from a really big night the night before at 10:30 and all of a sudden fucking West Coast playing. You're like, holy shit.
Somehow you've slept outside of Optus Stadium in preparation.
You're just like, oh, fuck, I'm here. Oh, all good.
Oh, I already had an event here. Oh, what of it?
No,
As well, if anyone actually believes anything we say on this show, and you've lasted 26 episodes,
what are
good
you
on
thinking?
you.
What are you thinking? Don't take anything we say with any form of actual, like,
We don't even believe it.
no, like I came out of that and I was like, that was pretty funny, that AM footy thing I like we were talking about. And then it was like, obviously we're kidding. Like I don't fucking I don't want to wake up at 5:30 and then go into the fucking MCG to watch fucking
You know
Collingwood
what
or
you
Essendon.
should
Like,
do?
no. Yes.
I reckon you don't back down. Take a stand.
Yeah,
Believe
you
it.
know what? Fuck it. fuck it. 7 a.m. footy from here on out. I will be the biggest voice for this in the
Do
country for the rest of my life.
you want to
And
start a petition?
yeah, I am. Absolutely. Starting from next year, 2024 Anzac Day. If it doesn't start at 7 a.m., I think we should all boycott.
What? Hang on. Why stop at Anzac Day? Let's just do it every week.
Every Saturday game, every Saturday 110 or the Sunday 110 games, start them at 9. So that people that come from a night out, when they're like, oh, I don't want to go home, just roll into the G, roll into Marvel at 9:30 and watch fucking North versus, I don't know, Freo. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, I just picked two of the
oh.
worst teams. I picked two of the worst teams I could think of in my head, and that was what we came
No,
out
see,
with.
that's not endorsing your idea. If
Fuck
your
it.
idea
All right.
wants to work.
Collingwood Carlton, 9:30 a.m. on
Yeah,
a Sunday morning.
you're getting 80K there. Don't worry.
Getting 80K severely hungover people at the MCG on a Sunday morning.
Still rocking up with their Euroses,
It's been a big
KFC,
night. It's been a very big night.
straight from Lygon Street.
I just, I need people to know that I'm obviously fucking taking the piss. Don't take anything I say with any form of actual analysis because it just doesn't happen. So,
It's I just all I'll say is I appreciate the support
yeah,
watching our little
thanks.
TikTok.
I was gonna say thanks for getting to 5,000 views.
Oh, the
Boy,
comment. So that's just going to be my response to everything you say now.
it's just such a funny comment, and I didn't read it until someone sent it to me, and I was like, "That's very."
Well, I didn't read it till this morning, and I was going to raise it on here because I thought it would be very funny. So I'm very glad we've got this reaction.
I sent it Friday night, and I was like, "Cool."
The best part is it's almost ratioed the entire TikTok that comment.
I'm not even kidding. I think I said it. So Ari sent it to me, being like, "This guy has just." I just said, "I have no comeback. Like that's it. Like he got me. I got nothing. Congrats, brother. I'll take it on the chin.
Well
Fucking
played.
got me. Fucking got me real good."
Cop
So
one of them.
yeah, absolutely. All fucking just yeah, big time.
Very good. Happy with that. Speaking of L's, should we talk about the awards night that probably just finished yesterday?
I think it's still going. I think it was on the TV when I came in. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. But all I'll say is we really, really got to stop dragging these things out for like a marathon. This isn't a
Yeah,
telethon.
nah. So I'm of the belief that the AFLPA voting, like that whole night, so like the awards they give out are the best awards to give out in terms of the AFLPA MVP, I think is the most reliable one. Like it's the most valuable player and it makes the most sense rather than the Brownlow, which is a midfielder's award. That's just how it is, kind of thing. So I'm of the opinion that that award itself is the best one you can win in terms of how good your season has been. But you don't need a fucking 3 hour show to get to it. Holy shit. Oh my God.
And then when you have 16 different hosts and the one that walks out and makes it a bit of me time in Patrick Dangerfield, I swear he had dirt that I think the whole of Australia gave him. And I don't think he said one bit about that dirt.
He just kept being like, oh, I was looking for some dirt on ya. And I was like, where? Like the last four that you introduced. Fucking. Oh, right. Patrick. Patrick. I know you're not listening. It's fine.
Could
What are
be.
you doing, brother? What are you doing? That was that was bad. It was really bad.
It was
Oh,
the weird jokes. It was a weird, not even just like Gill's jokes were just hit and miss. Like he threw one of his staff members under the bus. Yeah, that's a laugh, but like, where's your original content, brother?
yeah, and like just it's worse when they make a shit joke and the person that they make the joke to just gives them that really awkward like, oh hello Siri. Just gives them that really awkward like just and then just like
Yeah.
look down. Zach Butters did it to him too. It was so awkward. I was like, oh, poor Zach doesn't want to be up there. Just to go and sit down.
But
Oh,
how many times do they have to say thank you?
especially when it was like Butters and Bont who had to get up like twice and three
Literally doing
times.
a
Like,
tag team.
just do one speech and then get up the second time and be like, yeah, everything I said before, just replay that. Like it's fine. Like it's all good.
Troll P.
Yeah, like just be like it's done. Like I'm good.
Yeah. Those awards we're talking about, by the way, like Champion Player of the Year, which was Zach Butters, Lee Matthews Trophy, which was Bont, Rising Star was Harry Sheezel. That was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, like as much as I wanted Mitch Owens to win it, like, I
Hmm.
would love Mitch Owens to have won it, but I didn't think, I didn't realistically think he was going to beat Sheasel. It was always going to be between the three, in Sheasel, Ashcroft, Owens. Um, and I mean, like, when it happened, I went, oh, I don't know if he's been the best player, but you look back at his season and, like, he's broken records. Like he's had the most disposals for a rookie ever. He played a position that he'd never played up until the start of the year, and then he played
Yeah.
halfback and just dominated. And like every time he swapped positions, like he'd go forward, he'd become their best forward. He'd go midfield, he'd be their best midfielder. So like, okay, like he's been very good. So I think it's fair. I don't think Ashcroft should have won it. Ashcroft at the start of the year was a bit like not bad by any stretch, but he wasn't as prolific as the likes of Sheasel and Owens and stuff. And then Owens was like he didn't always have the stats to back it up, but Owens was the one that was playing a role that is so hard. Like he was a third or a second tall, and then he was the backup ruck, and he just would just hold his own in his second year. And like they all had very different years. Like they all were very, very different in the roles they had to play. So it was always going to be hard to judge. But I don't mind the Shizzle pick. I think it's okay.
I thought Tom McCallum was robbed, to be honest.
Did Tom McCallum play a game?
No, but I thought his training blocks were really sensational.
Right in the ass down.
I really thought, he was just pushing it. He's pushing the boundaries of what he could have been. And unfortunately, we
And
just have a two-talented squad.
unfortunately, the boundaries were the senior side.
If it wasn't just the AFL Rising Star and just a general Rising Star, shoe in.
Would have been all right. Would have been all right.
A- AFL Coaches Award, Best Young Player went to, you know it, Nikodakos.
Don't worry about it. He's a good footballer.
Very good footballer. Best Captain went to Bont. No surprise there, although I'll get to it with the All Australian. But I thought the two different awards probably were correct. Like
Yeah,
Toby
that was
Green being All Australian captain.
what I was about to say. How like we'll sort of get to it, but how are you best captain in one, but not the captain of the All Australian team in another?
Well, this is the thing because it's a players voted.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So a lot of people, or a lot of players, just don't like Toby Green.
Oh, I wonder why.
Too many studs into the back.
Too many fucking punches thrown.
Yeah. Gotta cop what
Oh,
you give, you know what I mean?
good footballer anyway, so that's
Um,
fine.
oh, 100%. Most courageous went to Zach Butters. Thought that was a bit weird.
Yeah, it was really funny seeing like the five nominees, and it was just like the biggest pricks on each team. If you're gonna get given the most courageous, it's just whoever's a prick. It was like Braden Maynard, Cam Zerha. It was just fucking pricks.
I don't know if that award should be based like the way Danger introed it was sort of like, oh, people that have gone through hard times and stuff. I thought, oh, well,
Yeah,
Doherty's going to be a shoe-in. And then I saw the nominees and it was like, as you said, oh, prick one, prick two, prick three,
yeah,
prick four,
like
prick five, and the least prickiest bloke won it.
yeah, that's what I was saying. You could have picked any of the pricks, and you picked the guy that was just pretty normal.
I wouldn't really call him normal.
No, but he was more normal than the likes of
Yeah,
Zerha. Like, Cam Zerha.
normal-ish.
Yeah, and like, yeah, like he said it as hardship. Like, why don't you put Doherty or Finlayson or like, one of those guys that like has had a lot of shit like been thrown at them and then they just keep playing footy and, doing it well. Like really weird award. Really odd.
AFLPA also did a best first year player. Really didn't like the fact that there was pretty much the same award three different times.
Yeah. Rising star, first year player, young player. Why is that the thing?
I just think, and before we get the All Australian team, the AFLPA awards, like you said, they're pretty important. Great to be recognised by the AFL players. Just think they're not good enough to be awards that should be televised.
Yeah, so I think the AFLPA MVP, like the player voted one, I think is needs like can be there. Obviously the Australian team, that makes sense. And I would even give most courageous a go if they voted it right. But like, you don't need rising star, young player, and first year player because the chances of one person winning all of them is pretty high. Like, one person can win all of them, and in this case, rising star and first year was Sheasel, and then young player was Dacos. But like, you don't need all three. You just one like rising star's fine, and then you're good. Like, you don't need the other ones.
Yeah, that. And just especially the same person coming up doing the same speech and Danger's hosting.
Realistically, it's Fox being like, we need money, and people are going to watch this for 3 hours. Putting
And
an
they,
AFL 360
oh, I
show
was just
in
about to
the
say.
middle of it. So let me paint a picture, everybody. I, I get home. Where was I? Was there for my niece's birthday dinner. I get home. As I get home, they're doing the Rising Star. I'm like, no worries, all good. Put a beanbag on the ground, get my blanket, and I'm like, fuck, this is pretty comfortable. I'm just gonna just quickly close my eyes and see what happens, right? She's wins Rising Star. I go, cool, no worries. Jared Waitley does the intro to AFL 360. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna close my eyes. If I wake up, maybe they don't have a few awards. Maybe I'll wake up before the MVP. Who cares? If not, I'll just go to bed. All good. I wake up. They have not even fucking left the episode of 360. None of the awards have been done, and I've missed precisely zero. I missed Jordan Lewis just talking.
The
I
funniest
was
part is you woke up prime time ready for Danger to host the rest.
I was infuriated. I was like, how have I managed to not miss anything?
You missed, so basically you falling asleep caused us to miss no awards and watch Jordan Lewis talk the same crap he does every week.
Yeah, and like spoil the Australian team apparently. I missed it, but like apparently he was just like, yeah, there's a surprise in the back line, and I was like, okay.
I, I didn't see it.
He said something of like, there's a surprise, and I think the surprise that he met with Nick Dacos wasn't in there. So I don't know. But yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
AFL 360's lost its spark.
Not gonna lie, I was never really a fan of it. I think it's okay, but I like watching it in clips on Twitter. I couldn't just sit there and watch an episode of AFL 360, I don't think.
Nah, nah, especially with the same rubbish every night.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Um, the team.
the team.
Before I read it out, were you happy with it?
Mostly. I think they pretty much got everything right. Um, Obviously, like personal bias aside, there's one that I would rather have in there. But I think it's okay that he missed. Other than that, though, fine, I think. Like, I think pretty much how I'd expect it to go.
Well, so the team was Cicely Wilkie, Tom Stewart,
Mm.
Jack Sinclair, Darcy Moore, Dan Houston. That's your back six. Then you had Josh Dacos, Bontempelli, and Errol Goulden. So two wingmen, which the world celebrated with.
Unbelievable.
Half forward, you had Rosie, Taylor Walker, and Christian Petrarca. Um, Charlie Cameron, Charlie Curnow, Toby Green, and that's your forward line. Your ruckman was Tim English, Butters, and Dacos at his feet. Interchange was Caleb Sarong, Zach Merritt, Jordan Dawson, Nick Sublaki. That's your
Yes.
22.
So,
Just for me,
yeah.
and then obviously the captain was Toby Green, which that was the one thing I probably knew that the three Port boys were getting in, so I was happy with that. But the one thing I wanted was Toby Green to be captain, and it's
Yeah.
because we've been harping on about it all year that he's been superb. He's the reason, well, one of the biggest reasons I'll say that GWS are playing in this final series. For him to be recognised for what the turnaround they've done and the winning streak they had and the way he's played and the way he's limited himself for his behavior and reactions and stuff like that is excellence above Bont getting his dogs into the ninth place and pretty much doing majority of it himself. Toby Green made GWS play as a team. Him and Adam Kingsley have worked hand in hand perfectly, and I strongly could not recommend him as a better captain for this team.
100%. I think we've said it like how many of the past weeks. Toby Green is the number one reason that they are where they are right now is because of Toby Green. And like his stats show it for one, but it's all the things that he doesn't even show on the stat sheet that does the rest. Like he leads that team by example more than you could expect anybody to. And like people still are so hung up on the fact that he had suspensions and things in his past. And yes, absolutely he has. But he has not had an incident in a long time where
Mhm.
he's been rubbed out for a considerable amount. He hasn't done any of those things in so long because he knows that he's kind of all they've got left. Like Jeremy Cameron was there, obviously he's not anymore. Like the Giants lose a lot of players because it's just how it works. Like it's just how it happens. But Toby sticks there and has stuck there for his entire career and knows that he has to be the one that leads this team.
Yep.
And so he has like managed to put himself in a spot where he can be at ease with himself. He's very reserved now and measured, but he's so good at football that like he has just led that side to ridiculous heights. And yeah, he should have been captain, and I'm glad that he is because he deserved that more than anyone.
Um, a couple of runner-ups probably for that place. Probably, Darcy Moore and Jordan Dawson for me.
Yeah,
Obviously been unreal as captains. But there's five, six captains in the team, I think.
yeah, and like a bunch of vice captains, they and that's kind of why I guess as well. Like you don't always have to be the best player to be a captain, but it helps to be able to lead your team like that. Like you look at Bont, you look at Toby Green, you look at Jordan Dawson, you look at all these players, you look at Darcy Moore. They're like top three, top four best players in their team because they lead by example. And like you don't have to be, and there's proof that you don't have to be, but it does help for sure. And Toby Green is the example of that, where he doesn't just lead by his leadership off the field, he leads by how well he plays on it. And that's exactly what happens. So, on Toby.
Overall, though, I think we're both pretty happy with the team.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Rowan Marshall in there would have been great. But I don't like it doesn't bother me too much. I think you could have put him in for merit, maybe, purely because the Bombers were whatever. I think Sarong, people have said no to Sarong, but he's had the most disposals this year. Like he's been the only really shining light for the Freo. So I'm okay with him being in there. People are very upset about Tom Stewart being in there. And by people I
Yes.
mean Carlton fans. Because there's no Jacob Wiedering. Um
Yeah.
I might get hate for this. I don't think Jacob Wiedering should have been in there.
I think Harris Andrews are probably the head of Weeding if you're going to put someone in.
If you're going to take Tom Stewart out, you put Harris Andrews in first. Absolutely. And we're going to get hate for that, but I don't even care because I think it's how it is. He's been fine, Wiedering, but start of the year he was a bit. Mm,
Well, you got to remember they had that streak of losses, and
yeah,
all they're basing it on is that block of 8 games, 9 games they won in a row.
but you have to think about the whole season in where, like, that's why I think Tom Stewart might even shouldn't be in there. Like, I think if you put Harris Andrews in there, where Brisbane have been consistently good the entire time, he's also been consistently good. So that's why it should be Harris Andrews before Wiedering for sure. But I don't think Wiedering should have been in there, especially
Yeah,
early.
there was a kind of a grey area when it came to that position. I don't think you could have really got it right either way you went.
No, you were going to upset somebody. I'm just glad they put Wilkie in because he deserves it. Because he, like Harris Andrews, consistent the entire year. He locks up his opponents more than anyone.
Yeah, the Great Wall.
Well done, Cal. The Great Wall of Cal.
You must have been ecstatic when, literally they're reading out the back line and St Kilda have gone bang bang
I read the back line and I was like, holy shit. I'm like laying on the ground. It's like, yes.
from your nap.
My beanbag. I'm like, come on.
That was me because I was like, I knew Rosie and Butters were going to be in it.
Yeah.
So all I wanted, and I was going to celebrate the most, is Dan Houston getting there. And I was like, all right, they're either going to put him on the bench, fair enough. Not a well-known player, the majority. I smacked him on the half-back line, and I've literally blankets flown in the air, dog is barking. I had a fit. I turned to
Uh,
Dad, who was like half asleep. He said, "Oh, they've announced it." I said,
he's in.
"Kingston, there is no problem."
I felt it like so good they put him in because for one, I was like, I just assumed they were going to put Nick Dacos on halfback. Like I know they could have put him in the midfield, but I just assumed he was going to be there. So I thought they were going to put Hughes on the bench. And so when I saw him there, I was like, oh, oh my
it
God.
very it validates me because the whole last month and a half, I was just every time we had the ball, if I was at a game or whatever, like that's my All Australian halfback, Dan Houston. So it gave
Yeah,
me some self validation.
felt real good about yourself afterwards.
I did, especially when you're drunkenly yelling it out against Richmond.
Yep.
And they're all looking at you going, who? And I'm like, Yosei! Who? Houston! I think that's it on the Australian team.
Yeah, I think overall they got it mostly right. Um, in hindsight, them putting Nick Dacos into the midfield probably killed Rowan Marshall's chances because
Yeah.
Dacos goes to the middle, which means you put more midfielders on the bench in Sarong and Merritt, and then that knocks out Marshall, which is sad, but oh well. I'm glad the other two got in, so it's fine by me.
Yeah, it was either probably Marshall or Larky
Yeah,
as the
that was
tall
probably
on
the
the
last. And I
bench.
think Larky's last 3 weeks probably put him in there because he kicked so many goals late. And
Yeah. We said that these 9 goals had him in the All-Australian team.
yeah, literally like those last 2 weeks or whatever, where he kicked like six and then he went nine in like the 3 week span. It's like, okay, like you're in. That's fine.
We get it. We love it.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a pity this team doesn't get to play a game, though.
Imagine, I want the international rules to be back.
That was great.
I love the international rules. It was
It's
so
like,
fun.
remember they used to teach it at school?
I went to a couple of those.
Yeah, so do I.
That was so fun.
Yeah. You just cheer on your players and like,
Yeah, literally. I see like Brendan Gatto running around. I'm like, yeah.
I went to one and Boak was playing and I was literally drowning in honey.
Yep. Dustin Fletcher was the goalkeeper every week. Every
Yeah.
time.
Because you know how you had no other option.
No, you just put the big guy back.
Just put the big 40-year-old back there.
He'll be all right. He'll
He'll
figure it
be
out.
fine. Speaking of figuring it out, should we do our finals previews?
Let's do it. Finals previews.
I don't know if you can hear this, and this might have to be edited out. If not, all good. I got a song.
Oh,
You ready?
yep. Okay.
It was Holy Grail. You know what? That whole thing could probably just be edited. It probably
Okay.
won't be.
That's fine.
So yeah, welcome to the Holy Grail.
Welcome to the Holy Grail, everybody. Oh man. We did it.
Yeah,
The
we're
teams are
playing
there.
finals.
The teams are here.
I'll run through the fixture once again, so those that are playing at home aren't confused with them being played at 6:30 in the morning, as Jared strongly suggests. Pies versus D's are on Thursday night at the MCG. Blues versus Swans Friday at the MCG. St Kilda versus GWS Saturday 2:50 at the G. Brisbane Port Adelaide Saturday night at the G. ABBA.
So many games at the G.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Um, Thursday night.
Oh,
Probably if whoever wins this, and I'm leaning towards Collingwood, but whoever wins this game is playing in the grand final.
yeah. I think the thing is with this game as well, not just because it's first versus fourth, this will be the best game of the week.
Yeah.
Collingwood, Melbourne, two teams that like Melbourne are in really good form. Collingwood will get back Darcy Moore. I don't think they get back Nick Dacos, which is
No,
probably
he's
a big
ruled out.
talking point. So fuck it, gonna be a good game. Good game of footy. 95,000 people at the MCG on a Thursday night. Only Collingwood could do it. Oh.
Look, and I know Melksham's not playing, but Fritsch being in, as we said, is obviously huge. The week off for the D's as well. I'm sensing a bit of an upset.
Man, and the thing is, right, even if Melbourne do win, like it's like an upset, but it's like they are so well respected that it could literally go either way. Like it's a coin toss almost. These two teams are so good.
They are. And they're probably, I mean, you look at the Saturday night game between the Lions Port, haven't seen their best footy in a little bit, if I'm honest, for either side. Pies Days, we've seen it. Pies
Mhm.
have obviously dropped off a little bit in the last couple, but as you'd expect, and the D's, well, they've done what they've had to do. And these two teams know how to play finals. I just think the D's winning is bigger for them than the Pies winning because if they win and D's make a prelim, home prelim, that's huge.
Yeah,
If not, the other side of the draw is guaranteed an away prelim,
yeah.
Port, Brisbane. So on the other hand, though, I think if Collingwood, this is where we see if Collingwood are going to be that juggernaut that we've expected them to be. Haven't quite done it.
No, if Collingwood are to be the team that started showing flashes last year, where people were like, "Holy shit, they're going to be really scary," if they are going to be that team, they've got to win. I don't think they can lose this and keep like the fear in the heart. So like the first 10 weeks of the season, if you were playing Collingwood, you had genuine fear in your heart. You would go into a game being like, they're gonna kill us. Like you were like, they are gonna murder us. And I'm like, not that they've lost it, but I don't think you go into a Collingwood game now being like they're gonna blow us out of the water. Because of like and like they've missed a few players in the last how many weeks, whatever. But I think if they are gonna like put that fear in the heart again, they have to win this game.
Yep, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
And look, they lose. I don't want to say it, but straight sets. Carlton versus Sydney the next night. Play Carlton in a semi.
Don't want to do that.
Uh-uh, uh-uh. Especially at the
Don't
G.
want to do that at all.
God, imagine those two playing against each other. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but like, I don't think the MCG will be standing.
I think if I don't get tickets to the game, like if I'm not already at the game, Carlton Collingwood, I might have to leave the city because I don't think it'll be safe for me to live around here because they will be like riots.
That'll be Oppenheimer too.
There will be 100,024 people at this game. There will be the capacity that you can possibly have. There will be 100,024 people at the MCG if it's a Carlton Collingwood semi-final.
The most unbearable week of my life because you got to
It'll
compare
be
if it was Carlton Collingwood and then you're just gonna look at the Saturday night and it's Port St Kilda.
good Lord. You may as well blow our entire friendship group out of the water with like that is just
The glass table would end.
last day would be shattered.
I don't think we'd
Good
have an
luck.
episode that week.
It would be scary.
Um, Pies D's tip.
Oh man. I think the Pies are big game players,
Hmm.
especially this year.
Hmm.
They don't have Dacos, but they've got Degoe. They're gonna get more back. Jamie Elliott's a player, and Jamie Elliott knows what he can do. I am tipping the Pies by 4 points.
Nothing like a Thursday night heart attack.
It'll, and I'm gonna be there in case anyone's aware. I'll be at the game in my little box,
Mm.
losing my fucking mind. Either way, um, Pies by 4 points, and then I'm gonna try and think of a bold prediction while you do your tip.
Tipping. This is my thought. The D's win. It's very close. The Pies win. They're gonna pump them. I'm
Okay.
scared that Collingwood are finally going to show their juggernaut, and I think they will do it. So I'm going to tip the Pies by 45.
I like it.
But if the D's win, I'm more than happy to accept it. Just saying. Not writing off the D's at all. Just that's my feeling.
That's fair.
We'll do bold predictions at the end, I reckon.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Blues Swamp Friday night at the G. For
There's gonna be
me,
another 90,000 people there.
and it's going to be good color too, because
Mm.
the red and white, the red and white army. I reckon they're almost going to cause an upset.
Yeah. Right. Like scary,
It's got that feeling.
scary, doesn't it? Yeah. So first off, before you get into it, I think what they should do. This is actually okay. You know what we said before? How like when I say things on this show, I don't actually mean them half the time. I actually do mean this. The tickets when you buy tickets for things, I think they need to be like I don't you couldn't figure it out properly, but you need to have it so that each bay is a specific supporter base. Like you can't have just a mix of colors because like grand finals, I love when it's like blue bay, like if Carlton City, navy blue bay, red bay, navy blue bay, like I love having the separated things because it looks so good. And like you can't get it properly because people will buy GA tickets and it'll all be mixed together, blah, blah, blah. But if you could get it as much as you could where each bay is specific to each team, fucking sick. Because these two teams would look cool doing that. No,
Yeah.
navy blue and red would look sick.
Yeah.
This game's gonna fucking slap. This game's gonna be so good.
I just I don't know what it is, but I think obviously Sydney have that finals experience in them, and they've failed multiple times this year. But you just know that there's always that elimination final where someone just surprises us. They get Chad Warner back, they're gonna have Errol Goulden getting his own footy again. Um, just Carlton might be frightened. And I don't want to write them off because Carlton have been very good. And I think part of
Yeah.
us are almost just like we want to see that. We want to write them off. But at the same time, like they're scary good. At their best, Carlton, they could do a lot of damage this final series. I just think the big stage, there's so much hype. And we've seen it firsthand, we've seen it around social media. There is so much hype with this game. I don't think they're prepared for what they're about to get.
Gonna be so interesting. Like my bold prediction is gonna be more sort of leaning into this. But I think Sydney are underestimated in their in the ability that they have at their disposal. So they've got the likes of Tom McCartan playing. They're gonna have like that forward line that is kind of unassuming. Like you don't really think of anything of it. And that midfield is as good as you'll see, Errol Gordon included in that. So I think they're almost being underestimated and that people are already looking ahead to, like we said, that Carlton Collingwood semi final. Like people are already looking there when I think you need to worry about Sydney first because they know what they're doing.
100%. I think as well, like a few positives for Carlton is their forward line, is their elite midfield. They've got a well-drilled back line. I just think GWS sort of gave a platform for how to beat them. And obviously the Carlton were going to gain anything in that last round anyway, but just once you falter once, it can slip into your game. And having the bye the week off, it suits every underdog.
Yeah, and like people like after the Carlton game, like Carlton fans weren't worried, and like you shouldn't be because they obviously were like not as neat. Like they didn't have crips. Like they were actively trying to take their foot off, and that's fine. But I don't think you want to lose heading into finals. Like I like with the Brisbane game for St Kilda, like I was okay with losing, but I would have obviously rather us win, kind of thing. So like I think just that loss is kind of just going to stick in the mind a little bit, and Sydney will now know that they can do this. Like it's definitely a winnable game, and the issue with Carlton, especially when they were losing those games early in the year, is that they when they're down and like it happened like towards the back end of the year they figured out ways to work back into games. But Carlton had issues early in the year and it came back in the Giants game where as soon as they start getting pressured a little bit, they kind of start to falter. Like they kind of lose their structure and they lose their way a little bit. It happened a lot early in the year. Like the first Collingwood game, they got pushed and they just lost it completely. Happening against Brisbane, happening against the Dogs, like it happened a lot early on. Happening against us, like in the St Kilda game early in the year, we were up 4 goals and I didn't think we were going to lose because I was like, they just didn't look like they cared enough. And the Giants game, it slipped back into their minds a little bit. Like Giants were starting to get on top of them, they just stopped, and I was like, okay, I think Sydney know that, and so interesting,
Yeah. This is the
interesting.
most intriguing game for me. And obviously we
I
have
know.
our own games that we'll get to in a second. I
100%.
just think this is the one. Yeah, Sydney are the underdog coming in. They're the worst team in this top eight for finals. I think Blues should expect to win. The reason Carlton win this game, and it's not because the Blues are better on field, it's because of their fans.
Yeah.
That crowd on Friday night will be huge, as you said. And if there's a reason Carlton win this game, it'll be because of them.
If there is ever such thing as a home ground advantage,
Hmm.
that's what this game is going to bring because there is going to be 90,000 people there and 65,000 slash 70,000 of them will be Carlton. Like Sydney have a strong Melbourne supporter base because, South Melbourne, that's the whole thing. But Carlton will swarm them. Like they will be severely outnumbered.
On them.
Yes, yeah, big time. Severely outnumbered. So if there is ever going to be a time for a fan base to push their team over the line, it's going to be Friday night.
Who are you tipping?
We've got a lot of Carlton friends, Anthony. We have so many Carlton friends, and there's been a big thing of late, especially with Tori and Jess, who will be listening to the Carlton tips. I bet you they came specifically for this bit.
Yeah, they haven't listened to any other shit we've said.
They go for the Carlton stuff, and there's been a thing with them where every time I tip Carlton, tip against Carlton, Carlton win. I'm tipping Sydney.
Oh,
They are going to love that. They're going to think that's the best thing ever. But I am tipping Sydney, and my bold prediction is going to explain why, and I'll get to that. But I think Sydney's going to win this game.
how much by? We're doing margins, by the way. Don't think I mentioned that this morning when we were doing a little pre.
Yeah, no, that's fine. 16 points. Sydney's going to win by.
Ooh, well, they'll be happy to know someone is tipping Carlton. It's going to be one of those close games to about three-quarter time, and the last three goals will go to the Blues.
The fans
They'll
are
tip
on
the,
over.
they'll win by 11.
Yep.
We go to Saturday Arvo. St Kilda GWS.
Yes.
250 time slot. This is grand final time slot. Jared Thomas, the Saint. I'll let you preview majority of this one, but I'll give my 2 cents in before you jump in.
It's fun.
This, for me, if St Kilda managed to win, remember the run? We had a good run a couple of years back. Someone had a great run all the way through and made a prelim. I can't remember who it was, but they just won every underdog game they were in. And I know St Kilda are pretty much at home at the G favourites, but St Kilda to me have that run in them. And I think even though the GWS have a Toby Green led side, something just to me spells there is a bit of a fantasy about St Kilda. Their last month of football has been sensational, even against Brisbane at the Gabba.
Yeah.
Elite. Like they ran away with it because Brisbane are probably a couple goal better side, and it's at the Gabba. If that's at Marvel, if that's at the G, St Kilda winning that game. For
Yeah.
me, St Kilda are a dark horse in this final series. How far they can go is the question for me. It starts with GWS.
So I've this is all that's been going through my head for like the last week, pretty much, is Saints GWS because like pretty much as soon as I bought tickets, I was like, okay, this is actually it's happening now. Like we're gonna be playing finals. It's gonna be the first final that I have attended since the 2010 prelim where we beat the Dogs at the G. And so that when that happened, I was sitting level two behind the goals. I am now row C on the wing, level
Prime
one,
time.
prime time spot. Like basically where my member seats are.
Interchange steward.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll be fucking doing subs. Um, this game, like I'm nervous for it thinking about it now. Like it's Sunday night. The game is in 6 days. By this time in 6 days, I will know whether or not I will be playing. I will be heading to either Brisbane or Adelaide, kind of thing. There is one thing that makes me think that we're going to win this game, and it's Ross Lyon.
Ah, yes.
Ross Lyon knows how to win finals football. He has won so many finals, and like he hasn't won the grand finals, whatever. But he knows how to play games in high pressure situations, like high pressure. He knows how to absorb the pressure because he's a defensive minded coach, as always. He knows how to absorb that pressure, and he knows how to then use it to his advantage. In our big games this year, the games that we had to either win or play well, round three was our 150th anniversary. There was 65,000 people at the G for us. High pressure, we won. Geelong, round 23. Oh, even earlier than that, gather round. Saints Collingwood, both coming into it undefeated.
Yep.
Didn't win, lost by a goal to Collingwood. Pretty good. Round 23. Saints versus Geelong. We won. Did what we needed to do to win this game. Richmond the week before. High pressure situations, Ross Lyon is a fucking genius. And I think he's built for this game. The weather doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like it's going to be like free flowing. There could be rain. That's a possibility, and that it suits us big time. If we're ever going to win a game of football in this kind of environment, 60,000, 65,000 people at the MCG, and 60,000 of them are St Kilda fans, it's the one.
And it's not like St Kilda haven't been here before. Like you look at
Uh,
people are like, oh my God, St Kilda made finals. 2020 they were there.
And we won. We beat the Dogs, who
Yeah.
were fifth, and we were eighth. Like we won from eighth, and then we lost by not very many goals to Richmond, the eventual premiers, the week after.
Yeah, I wish I didn't bring up that final series actually. You had
But
one
like,
job to do, Jared.
but like we can play finals and we can win finals. It's happened. It's what we do. Like we've done it before, we can do it again.
Do you know how many times in my head I've thought this week about the possibility of St Kilda going all the way? Once now. But also there is this thing inside my head that's just like GWS come into this almost favourites,
Well, they're
in,
bookies favourites at the minute. Yeah.
which suits St Kilda so much. And
Mm.
like, yes, it's at the G, so it probably pushes that out a little bit more. But just there's something about this game. This is the game that no one's actually really concerned about, and this for me has the potential to be the best final of the lot.
And like, it's not going to be the best, as in like it's going to be a shootout. Like, I don't want anyone to come into this game thinking that there's going to be like 120 versus 100, and there's going to be
Mm.
like Max King is going to kick six and Toby's going to kick five at the other end. That's not happening. It is going to be a slog. It's going to be like 60 to 50,
Yep.
but that suits Ross Lyon more than fucking anybody I know.
You know what they say? St Kilda get past 80 and they win every time with the boss.
Yeah.
I think it probably goes that way again. So who are you tipping?
I'm tipping the
Oh, well,
Saints.
obviously. How much by?
I am tipping the Saints by 13 points.
I'm also backing you in. And for me, it's the first one to 80. So I'm tipping the Saints by 3 points.
Fuck that. I will hate that.
I know you
13.
hate it. I do
Oh, boy.
not. And the worst part is I'll be at this time of the day probably off my head. It's
Yeah.
silly Saturday. So you'll be there stressed to the max and I'll be texting my way through to you every time. I'm like, Jared, are you alive? So if you win, well, I hope you win because otherwise, yeah,
Sad.
it'll be a sad time.
Yeah.
Last one of the round. Saturday night, Port Adelaide. Well, sorry. Let me say that again so I get this right. Brisbane versus Port Adelaide because this is Brisbane's home final at the Gabba,
Yes.
6:50. For
Five.
me,
Five.
Brisbane versus Port Adelaide. Saturday night at the Gabba at 6:55. Stop putting enough. There's enough stress on this game. You don't need to make it
Yes.
anymore. 5 minutes
No.
difference, not going to matter. So you've just hated me now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nah, this game, the two non-Victorian teams have put on some of the best finals over the years. And I think if there's one team, I'll get you for your thoughts before I say mine. But I think there's one team on this whole top eight that could actually beat Brisbane at the Gabba, and I think it's Port Adelaide.
Yeah, and so I know like Brisbane Port's going to be your like you did for the Saints and me. This is going to be your kind of game. My only sort of thing here is Brisbane at the Gabba is a very very tough team, as we know. But in finals previous last year is exactly what I'm thinking of. Brisbane at the Gabba in finals aren't undefeatable. Richmond took them within like a goal, and it was one of those ones where they should have. It was the Tom Lynch thing where it was a behind and it should have been a goal or whatever the fuck it was. They are definitely beatable. The Saints got within 2 goals of them last week. They are a team that very good at the Gabba. Understandable. The hardest trip in footy, Brisbane at the Gabba. Completely fair, but they are beatable. So it's
I
not.
think,
Yeah,
what's it not? I'll let you finish.
I was saying it's not like I don't want people to immediately be like, yeah, Brisbane's going to a prelim because they're not.
It's funny that the one team that people have written off in the first week of finals is Port Adelaide because of
Mm,
the Gabba.
yeah,
And that's what I think for me, it suits Port Adelaide so well. Every final series we've had where we failed, the expectation's always on us.
yeah,
First week of finals, we played Geelong, 2 qualifying finals in a row at home, did the job. We come into a prelim both times, and the expectation is for us to win at home, and we failed. This time, we're coming into a qualifying final with no expectation to win. Obviously, it's finals. So all Port fans are like, oh, we expect to win. We want to win. But outside noise, everyone's like, well, you're playing Brisbane at the Gabba. You're pretty much no chance.
yeah,
That is Port Adelaide to a T. This year, especially, no one expected us to do anything. Wrote us off, went on a 13 game winning streak, finished in the top four, probably unlucky not to get a home final. And just now we're sitting here, going to get Lysette, McKenzie, Marshall back in, Dixon maybe. If Dixon plays, so much bigger a chance. But even those three coming in, huge. Like Aaliyah gets McKenzie back in the side, whether Jonas goes out or not is debatable. Bigger bodies against the skinnier Brisbane forward line can help. So I think in that aspect, this is all mental for Port. We know we can beat Brisbane. Brisbane know they can beat us. They're playing at the Gabba. They've got the star power. They've got, you know, defensively, you've got Harris Andrews and Co down there. You've got up forward your three big pillars, um, Hipwood, Danaher, and obviously Charlie Cameron, who's kicked, I think, the most goals for a small forward this year. So it's just all mental. And Ken
yeah.
Inkley is one of the best motivators in the game.
I think, yeah, like you're completely right. Port Adelaide perform best when they don't have the expectation on them. So, like this year, I immediately think about the Sydney game at the SCG. No one expects you to win, and you win it. You pulled them out every single time. Where the games that you weren't expected to win, you just keep powering through. And like, as soon as people start to write you off, that's when you guys play your best. And then I even think back as far as fucking 2014, like when Hawthorn were mid, three-peat, and there's that game against them where obviously like you didn't end up winning, but that final series for Port was like a turning point, and it was like a changing point in the whole Port Adelaide culture and everything. It happens when the team is written off. And this is the perfect example where even if you don't win the game, if you come close, you then go into a semi-final against us or the Giants, and you're like, we can fucking do this. Like, because you don't have to play Brisbane at the Gabba again. You play them once, even if you lose, you win, you get a home final in a prelim. You lose, you then play a semi-final where you've got confidence, and you play against a prelim, not against Brisbane at the Gabba.
The only
It's
thing with us losing this and going into a semi at home, it then turns into that straight
you
sets
should win. Yeah,
mentality.
yeah,
That's why I think we win this game. And
yeah,
this could be the game Brisbane, as I said about Collingwood, that they turn on the switch and all of a sudden it's Brisbane. They're playing at the Gabba. They get a home prelim at the Gabba. They're the best in the comp. There's that mentality there for them.
yeah.
But this is why I think Port win. Bias or not, obviously I've got to have confidence and belief that we've got to win. Internally, I'm shaking like a little kid's rattle. But I generally, honestly think Port Adelaide are going to win this game.
Yeah, okay. I like
Come with me, Port fans.
it.
The worst part is I'll be absolutely cross-eyed when this game
Oh yeah.
starts,
By the time this game starts, you'll be like already blind, probably can't see the football. So,
and that scares me.
hmm,
But at least I'm not going because if I was going, I've got a terrible track record of traveling. Who are you
scary.
tipping?
Ah, I'm gonna tip the Lions. Um, at the Gabba, it's like one of those things where it's just a safe bet. But again, like I said, Brisbane at the Gabba in finals is kind of a different thing because the pressure starts to build a little bit and they don't perform as well. So I'm only going to tip Brisbane by 5 points. I think it's going to be like, and that's going to kill you, I know, but I think it's going to be Brisbane in a very close one, like very close.
Yeah. 5 points.
Hmm.
000.
Rough.
Clear. I'm tipping Port by 7.
Close games all around.
I generally think, yeah, it's that Saturday night final that's just always on edge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I look at that and I think Brisbane by 5 points. Regardless, we're getting a good final.
Yeah. 100%. I think all these games are going to be fucking rippers. Like they're all going to be so good.
Bold predictions. Have you done one for
Yes,
each game?
I do. Yeah.
Beautiful. How about you do bold predictions for each game, and I'll have a general bold prediction for the whole finals first
All
week.
right. Cool. Let's do that.
All right,
All right.
because I didn't really do any.
That's fun. That's fun. Okay.
It's like
Now,
the Damien Barrett at the end of sliding doors. Then this one's for the AFL.
this one's for the AFL. This one's just for all of
I'm
them.
that little piece.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's
All right,
fine.
go for it.
All right.
What's your bold
Collingwood or
predictions for each
Melbourne?
game?
Collingwood, Melbourne. Right. Whichever team wins, it's like whatever. My bold prediction is that one of either Brody Myercheck or Bailey Fritsch, whichever of the team wins, one of either Brody Myercheck or Bailey Fritsch will kick 5 goals. I
Very nice.
think they are two of the best medium forwards in the comp where they can play tall, can play small, and they're kind of the point of difference in a lot of teams. A lot of teams don't have that medium forward that can do that kind of thing. We've got the talls and they got the smalls. Brisbane, that example, they got two talls and they got Charlie Cameron, and that's kind of it. Like that's what they can do. They've got two of the best medium forwards in the comp. So whichever team wins, either Myercheck or Fritsch will kick 5 goals to help get them there.
I like that.
Yeah.
Big bags. Big bag. The bags continue into finals.
Yeah, and like that's the end of this year. Like people have been kicking goals for fun, and so I think it's going to continue on. Yeah, Myercheck or Fritsch, 5 goals. One of the two.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Swam versus Blue.
This is one that's going to hurt the Blues fan. This is why I tip Sydney. I
Yep.
think this one's very specific. I think Tom Papley is going to like be the game winner in that he will kick 4 or more, and he will be the one that is the difference in this game.
Very nice.
Tom
I like
Papley
that.
specifically. I think he's just going to have one of those games, and he's just
The,
going to be
the pricks that we were talking about.
those little bastards. He's just
Yeah.
gonna just get under the
Please.
skin and
Might
yeah,
have a segment where we have a little bastard of the week.
little bastard award.
That might be mine. You've got
Yeah,
coaches
fair.
award. I've got little bastard.
Little bastard award.
St Kilda
Uh,
GWS.
yeah, this one's specific to the Saints. Going back to my boys. I've been very critical of him this year, and a lot of our fans have been as well. Jack Steele is going to have 25 touches and he's going to have 10 tackles as the minimum. He's going to have a game where we have put so much pressure on him, and there's so much talk of him getting rid of the captaincy for next year and things like that. And he's going to have one of those games where you're like, that's our fucking Jack Steele. And he's going to have 25 touches. He's going to have 10 tackles and he's going to help win the game.
Captain's performance.
The captain's performance.
Love a
So
captain's performance. Had a few of those in my time. Port Brisbane.
rough. I think this game, like total points, is going over 180. Like if you had to do 180 total,
Shootout.
it's going to be a shootout. There's going to be just fucking bags kicked either side. Marshall kick a bunch. Fucking Francis Evans if he play if he gets picked. Fucking come on, Ken. And then the
Well,
other
to be
side,
fair, he won't get picked, but somehow still play.
yeah, because just manager just make his way in the team.
Just somehow gets in.
Yeah, going to be a shootout. 180 plus bags goals.
That's not going to be good for the heart rate.
Terrible for that, right? But yeah,
You really
goals.
don't. You really don't want me to survive, do you? You're on over 180 points and Brisbane win by 5. You're terrible.
That's rough.
I hope there's no goals in your game.
There won't be.
It's all points.
I'm prepared for it. There won't be any goals.
0 goals 7 to 0 goals 5. Half of them are rushed.
Yeah.
And this one's for the AFL.
Oh yes.
All right, so I've got two. We'll have two upsets this weekend.
Yeah.
Looking at it, I think your upsets would be D's or Swam, GWS, Port,
Yeah.
all the away sides, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I think there'll be two. Secondly, one of these games will be decided after the siren.
Oh,
Mhm. One of these games is going to be decided after the siren. And you know which game I'm thinking in particular, but I'm not going to put it as the bold prediction, but it's just a fucking gut feeling. It's that stupid Gabba game on Saturday night.
I was gonna say it, but I was like, it's scary. I don't think ours will for just I don't know why. I think it's either your game or it's Pies Melbourne that finish with an
Yep.
after the siren finish. That would fucking good lord. If Collingwood won a game after the siren, which would be worse? If Collingwood lost a game after the siren, or if they won a game after the siren? How much pandemonium would be?
Oh, worse for them or us?
For the general public, just for everybody that
Oh,
exists.
we're so wanting them to lose after the siren.
But like for me, like if I'm in there and I'm trying to get home safely and without, dying on the way
I'll
home,
stay in the
would
box.
I
No,
rather
no, no,
Collingwood
don't
win?
leave. No, no, no.
Can't
Stay in the
leave.
box. Wait an
Can't leave.
hour.
Can't leave.
Just just lock it. Lock it. Stay in there. Maybe pack
Oh,
an emergency kit. Couple of
yeah.
snacks, water
Actually,
bottle,
I need to
maybe
stay
a
in the box
pillow.
overnight. Yep. Spot on. Fuck no. Scary.
Yeah, riots. Be like the Black Friday sales.
I'm not even kidding. I would stay around for a very long time because I don't want to have to deal with it. I'd be like, nah,
I would.
not happening.
Yeah. So they're my two.
That second one is so scary. Like, but I like it though. Very good.
So where we are for Silly Saturday and for the game, I've watched Port play twice there.
Mhm.
Both games have had an average margin at the end, which works out to be about 7 points. We had the Houston winner, and we lost to Geelong by 10 points or whatever.
Oh boy.
Hell,
Ah, boy.
the best scenario for us is, and I think the good thing as well is that for both of those games, well, for our games, they're on the same day.
Yeah.
So we're not going to have a night before thing and roll in. We're all going to be feeling it on the same day, win or lose. The Saturday night could be amazing. It could be amazing for you, not for me, or amazing for me, not for you. Imagine if we have extra time.
I like I'm not even kidding. Okay, story time. In
Mhm.
2009, I've probably said this story on here before, I don't even know. 2009, when we beat the Dogs in the prelim final to make our first grand final since 97 and all the lot, I had like a full on breakdown at the siren and I was like crying and all that. And mum had to like, thought she'd have to take me to the paramedics because I was like full hyperventilating and dying. And we got to there and like a guy had actually had a heart attack and they were working on him, trying to get him okay. And so mum was like, I think you'll be right. So, so if this Saints Giants game goes down to extra time, I might be that guy
Yeah,
in the ambulance crying to be resuscitated because I will lose my mind.
I hope not, but
I
I
am,
love how you've connected the two.
I'm terrified. I'm so scared.
Do you know what's funny though? If our game went into extra time, everyone will be fucking terrified and worried. I'll be there like, nah, I've been here before. It's all good.
Been here before,
I've
just
got experience.
waiting for someone to fucking duck again or some shit like
Yeah.
that, and you'll have to
Charlie
just,
Cameron's getting tripped or something over his own feet. They'll call it a trip. Goal after yeah, I'm here, mate. I know.
ready for it, ready for it.
Born, ready. I know exactly what to expect. It's all good.
All good.
I'm fine. So
Oh,
that's basically everything we expect from week one. going to be wild.
Hmm.
We've gone very in depth.
I'm glad. Well, yeah, we needed stuff. There's no footy this week, so needed to go.
We've done well. So I think now we'll change it up. We've been serious.
Yeah,
I think we should go around the glass table.
let's do it.
Let's do.
Let's do it.
So, Jared, on this, we did local footy stories because it'll be funny.
Yeah.
And to everyone that listens to the glass table, watches the glass table, that supports us, you didn't do your job at all. Absolutely ropeable. But that's fine. We asked, what's your favorite footy stories? You've got one on Instagram.
Yes.
We've got a quote tweet here that I'll read out
Mhm.
that I can't see for some reason now,
Yeah, I can't see it either, but I don't.
but
That's
I
fine.
saw it.
I saw it
I
originally
saw
when
it.
it first came, and I should have screenshotted it, but I didn't. Clearly.
Yeah. So to that person that quote tweeted it and read it out, I'm pretty sure it was something about someone getting a yellow card. I think it was
I
a
think it was a
coach getting a
coach.
yellow card,
Yeah.
and then they complained and whinged and made a scene about getting the yellow card, so therefore got a red card.
Yeah, I think it was Rini, as in one of the Carlton besties group. And I don't know why I can't see it, but yes, we've had like red, red cards and yellow cards is a thing that it could work in AFL, like if you needed it to, in terms of like if someone punches someone off the ball, you should be able to red card them and not put them on for the rest of the game. Like that makes
Yeah,
sense. But it's just so hard to enforce because it's like it just then people like the oldies will just be like it's soft, and then you'll be like, okay, well,
back in my day,
literally, I
used to
know,
punch people for fun.
just
Okay,
fucking
that was footy. Didn't even
yeah.
play for the ball.
How good's fucking CTE? Yeah, like fucking shut up, like just shut up. Every single fucking person over 40, every single fucking old school footballer that reckons that hits off the ball is so fucking tough. I'm like, yeah, man, how good's fucking traumatic brain injuries? Yeah,
Yeah. Don't you
yeah,
love a bit of whiplash? It causes you to be obscured a little bit the rest of your
yeah.
life. Back in my day,
How good's getting to 60 and getting like early onset dementia? Yeah, fucking
yeah.
sick, brother.
Arthritis at 38, brother, didn't feel
Mate,
it.
that's how footy is. Like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Back in
oh,
my day,
just
didn't even have strapping.
fucking didn't wear a mouth guard. That's why I've only got three teeth left. Like, cool, man. Fucking sick.
My ankle was facing the opposite direction. I still ran around. Telstra tracker my ass. I ran for days.
Fuck, I hate those people. Like, so much.
Mm.
Oh, that's a
Back in my
different,
day.
that's a topic for another fucking day because Jesus Christ, I hate people like that.
Footy fans we hate.
Oh, just fucking oldies. Just annoys me.
Jared's opinions about oldies, I do not endorse. The glass table loves in each every person of all ages.
Except for those fucking.
Except for those fucking back in the day wanks. We get it, all right. You didn't
We
tie your
get it.
shoelaces, you didn't wear boots, and you had studs that literally were metal, and you get to cut people for fun. I got fuck.
Yeah, man. Oh,
But as I said, loving each and every one of you.
Southern place.
Subscribe to the pair.
Please.
Parody's nuts. That's what you get for going back in the day. I feel better.
Yeah, I needed to get that out. That's been on my mind for fucking forever. Anyway, so we've got an Instagram. Um, they had a trip to Parry Hills against a 10-0 team. Someone on their team kicked 4 goals and carried the team on his back. There is nothing better than like silencing a team that
Just
should
before
win.
you go on,
Yeah.
don't give this story as much hype as it deserves.
Were
I
you the
know the
10-0?
person.
Were you the 10-0 team?
No, no, no. The person that kicked the goals.
That's this guy.
Just know, yeah, down at a peg. I don't think
Understandable.
he'll listen, but
There, for sure.
well done, Yov.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. That looks about right.
Yep. Apparently it was
Yep.
a good day. He's one and
Fair
only
enough.
A grade team. He'll tell you all about it. Come over, mate. Oh.
Tell you all about it.
I've been
Oh.
there for 5 years, Jared. I've heard the story 1,500 times. Did you have one?
Pre-game, post-game. I've got a couple. My one that like I'm thinking of that I thought of with the red and yellow card thing is in the 2020 season. So that we didn't have a 2020 season proper because, that whole COVID thing that happened. Don't know if you guys remember it. It's kind of a big
Yeah.
thing. Anyway, that's fun. We played a practice match. We played um like we were playing against the team that's in a different league and we were playing out of their ground anyway, whatever. I tackled this guy over the boundary line and I tackled him as he kicked it. It's legal. I'm allowed to do that. Then he like turns and like he's like on top of me and he starts like jumper punching me and I was like, okay, whatever, man, that's fine. And then the umpire turns around and was like, okay, you can't do that. And so blows and gives me a free kick. And I'm like, sick. I get up and I start just clapping in his face, like as loud as I can. Like really, really giving it to him. For context, 2020 is my first year under 19s. So I'm playing bottom age under 19s. And you can play under 19s for like 3 years going up kind of thing. And I could have played 17s again, but I didn't. So I was bottom of three ages for 19s. I clap in this guy's face as much as I possibly can. His older brother, 2 years older, oldest age 19 you can get, runs at me from I'm not even kidding, 60 meters away. Like dead eyes me. And I finish clapping in the face, grab the ball. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Look at my boots, look up, and he's here. And I'm like, how the fuck and he hits me in the gut harder than I have ever been hit in my life. Like fully, like closed fist, breadbasket hits me, folds me, like completely folds me all together. Big all in brawl. We end up getting like a 100-meter penalty or something like that. I'm like, he fucking rocked me. And so I played for the 2020 season, quarter and a half of AFL football before this guy fucking hit me and I didn't play the rest of the game. And then the whole season got.
Oh my God. That was your 2020.
My 2020 was a quarter and a half before I got punched, and that was it. That was my entire year.
That's very funny.
I wonder what that
I
guy's
like
doing
that.
now.
If you're listening,
Probably nothing. Let's be real. He played for Frankston YCW. He probably doesn't do
9 to 5 on the tools.
anything. Those Melbourne people that just listen, and they like, I would have said Frankston YCW, and all the Melbourne people listening would have been like, "Yeah,
He
fair enough,
knows. He knows.
fair enough."
Um, I only have one, and normally we come on in and we like to gloat. This is generally one of the funniest stories I've ever had.
Yeah,
It was last year, and obviously I broke my collarbone, so I wasn't going to play for the rest of the year. I was ruled out,
yeah,
couldn't come back. So we were playing, and this is for the Adelaide people, playing down at Colonel Light Gardens, which is just south of Adelaide. It's a dump, like a pretty dump,
yeah,
just like decorated shit.
yeah.
It was the muddiest of days. We were struggling for numbers. No people were backing up. Three people pulled out of the B grade with like 20 minutes to go before the game. And I'm sitting there having a can of Coke and a sprinkled donut. And they're like, no A grader can play 2 games. We've already got 2 people coming up, blah, blah, blah. Alas, what are you doing? And I said, happily having my sprinkled donut and can of Coke. They said, if we park you at full forward, we'll play. Can you play? I'm 8 weeks after breaking a collarbone. I strapped this thing 6 times. Like, if you wanted a promotion for Elastoplast,
That was you that day.
that was me. They've parked me at full forward. Mind you, I get to full forward. Like I had boots in the car. I'm wearing someone else's shorts, someone else's socks. The Guernsey's 2 sizes too big. So looking at me, skinny little tall man,
Yeah.
I look like a Christmas tree that was decorated.
An
They
S-Boss
parked me at
Christmas.
full forward. Yeah, Christmas edition. They put me at full forward. Full forward is literally a mud pit. Like I'm talking ankle high. There is like you're stuck.
Yeah.
Lost by 7 goals or whatever it was. Ended up kicking 2. One of them was literally on the goal line in the mud pit that I'm pretty sure someone else kicked, but I claimed.
Yep.
And we played with I think 18 men for the day. I'm on half a collarbone, but I filled in. And it was my one and only B grade game I've played.
There you go.
I kicked 2 goals.
Solid
Said to the
effort.
coach afterwards, if I don't get 15 votes for this game, just for
I'll be upset.
purely stepping, I got nothing.
Getting out there.
That was raised to the committee. Don't worry. Still under
What
investigation. Glenn, if you're watching,
the fuck?
send me my 15 votes. So it was a
Um,
wild day.
the one and
Last
only
game of the year
B-Day.
too.
Oh yeah. Like I retired. I just stopped caring from footy before I even hit the senior level. So I never got like that. I never like tried, but I've played a few Reggie's games in my 19s year, like my last one. And my first ever possession in a reserves grade game of football, I got dumped holding the ball. Well, picked the ball up on the wing, thought I was fucking sick, tried to do a blind turn and got obliterated. Like
Yes.
fully fucking murdered on the wing. Umpire calls holding the ball. I of course do the oh fucking whatever, and then I'm staying on the mark. I was like, geez, you fucking got me pretty good, eh? Killed me. Like actually killed me. So reserves was fun. I played like 3 games.
That's so good.
Just
Do you have any
oh,
actually games that you played where it was like a close win? That's one of your favorites.
yeah, so I mine's kind of a similar thing. I did my knee at school footy and I wasn't meant to play, but we had 17. And so they were like, this is in like under 17, something like that. And they were like, if we just put you in the forward pocket, can you just stand on a guy? Like just stand on somebody. I was like, yeah, no worries. The opposition coach made the mistake of telling his team that we really only had 17 players and that I wasn't really a player. I was just standing out there to fill in the number kind of thing. So the guy that I was playing on just assumed that I wasn't going to be able to do anything. So he just ran away. Like he was just like he thought he was like I was literally going to stand there and not even call for the ball. But I was like, I'm still going to call for it. Like
Yeah.
it's fine. I ended up kicking 3. So I kicked the first goal of the game, and I was like, "Fucking cool!" Like, so it was pretty
Yeah.
good. Then early in the third quarter, I got for a mark, and so I had my right knee was sore. I came down on my left ankle and broke it. Like I heard hop, and I was like, "Oh," because I had broken it the summer previously,
Yeah.
and so same ankle, same everything. I was like, "Fuck, righto, it hurt." We got a goal out of it. I didn't. I was like, whatever. I went to the bench and I was like, it's okay. Just like tape it, and then I will actually just stand in the forward pocket. Like I was like, I actually won't move. Of course I moved. I was gonna fucking not move. And then we're up a goal with like 2 minutes left, and I get it in the pocket, and I kick the best goal I've ever kicked in my entire life. I kicked like 9 goals in my career total. I was a backman, so 9 goals total probably. Best one I've ever kicked in my life with a check side from the pocket in this game, like the sealer. And I went home that day. First off, I was like crying in pain because my ankle was fucked. But
Yeah.
I went home being like, I have the biggest balls of anybody on this floor field.
That's elite.
It was fucked though. My ankle was like I can't even explain how much pain I was in because the adrenaline came in. So like I was fine during the game. As soon as the game was over, I went back to the rooms and I was like, I tell you fucking what, someone better get me some ice right fucking now. I will be in some shit.
That's elite.
Terrible.
That's a hell of a
Like
story. Why don't you
killed
tell
me
that
though.
more often?
I don't know. I should.
I think that's a real, that's top dog.
Yeah. I mean, like, and then I remember getting my name like in the weekly newsletter thing, being like kick 3 in Dingley's win over blah blah blah. And I was like, fuck.
Heroic status. Jared Thomas,
Heroic.
kick
But
3, broken ankle, done knee, heroic.
it was one of those ones though where like they write the recaps without watching the games. They just look at the goal scorers at the end. So they just saw that I kicked 3 and they were like, yeah, that's fine.
We don't even know who he is.
Nah, had no idea who I was. It was funny.
That is, I'm not going to top that.
What was your close? You had a close win that you liked?
We played a team called Hectorville, which this was Div 6 2021. No, 2020. So we got to play COVID in South Australia because our restrictions and stuff were pretty good. It wasn't that bad at that time. So we got half a season. They basically said, all right, everyone gets to play everyone once. We ended up playing Hector in the grand final that year. We lost by 2 points. But the first game we played them, it was at a place called Theberton Oval, which was like for us playing at Adelaide Oval. Like it's
Yeah.
the pinnacle, one of the best stadiums in terms
I
of
think
like
I even know
Sandful
that. I
footy.
think I know that.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
So we played there. We played all of our home games there because our club was under construction at the time as well. So it was surreal. We're playing the best team. We've had a couple of big outs. I'm playing on the best forward in the comp, who's kicked like 70 goals in those 8 games or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best players in South Australia, to be honest, in terms of local footy. I've kept him for a 1 goal for the whole day.
Solid.
We won by 1 point. That was a rush behind with 2 seconds to go. Now, I've got the clip and I'll send it to you after, and I
Yep.
could possibly put it in this.
Yep.
I've taken an intercept mark from one of their free kicks. There's like 15 seconds left. I've fallen over, switched the play, hit my mate on the chest. He's turned around, kicked the ball in. 5 seconds. Ball falls out of the contest. It's rolling towards goal, and one of my teammates tries to kick it, misses, completely airs it, and his opponent has punched it through for a point. We win by a point. One solitary point we won by because of
Imagine,
a rush behind with 2 seconds
mm,
to go.
imagine being that guy that hit it over. Like
This is a team that hadn't lost all year.
you'd have been fucking filthy. You'd have been like, all right, like why have you done that then?
I don't know what the thought process was,
Mm,
but the ball was going out of pace towards goal where if if it was let go, it probably would have rolled through. Whether or not it got there on the time, I'm not
I don't know.
sure. But him punching it through and then the umpire literally going like that for a point,
Sorry, guys.
boy, did we celebrate.
Oh yeah,
I felt
big.
really good too because I was like, I got best on ground that day. But
Okay.
like for
Yeah,
taking the intercept mark and then hitting a clean kick for a switch to go inside 50 and the ball goes through for a point, I don't think I felt better after a game.
you were
We
like
won
that
a
was
prelim that year by like 7 points as well, where the scoreline was 5 goals 16 to 4 goals 15. One of
yeah,
those real shitty,
yeah,
but I still think, yeah, that rush behind win is probably the best game I've ever played
the
in.
best one. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know, like I can't think of like the best game I've ever played in, but like yeah, just those games that are like close. I remember like one day my mate kicked a goal in like a prelim that like I was standing at centre half back and he snaps it and it looked like it was going out in the full. And I've never seen a fucking ball bend more like it. And it just curled back in and went through. And then the siren went like 2 seconds later. And I fucking lost the plot. I was like, holy shit. I was just losing my mind. It was like one of the coolest things ever. Those like close games where they just hit you all at once. You're like, holy fuck. How did we do that
Oh,
kind of thing?
that's literally how the feeling was that day. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how we won,
Yeah.
but just to be
Unbelievable.
there was like, you playing those games. You don't expect to play in those games.
Nah. You don't come into games expecting that.
Pretty good stories.
Local footy, eh?
See, this is what people missed out on.
Exactly
Could
right.
have told yours, but no, we'll just brag about ours for 10 minutes.
Exactly. That's good.
I really like local stories. I like local footy, winning after the siren and stuff like that. It's really sexy.
I know you were looking down at your desk, but that entire time I was just like, he's gonna do it.
It's my little cue. I don't like to look at you because I just know I'll start pissing myself
You're
laughing,
like
and I
thinking
can see
about
a
it. You're like looking
reaction.
down at the desk, like I gotta think about this.
Just like Jared's haircut, we're going to talk sexiness. So let's get into our favorite segment, stupid sexy AFL players.
Stupid sexy.
Yeah, well played. Best part about this one is that there's no AFL this week, so we decided to switch it up a bit. If you feel like explaining what a little,
Yeah, so we're going to take stupid sexy global, and it's probably why we've put it as the last segment before we close off, because it doesn't have a lot of relevancy to AFL, but we wanted to tempt the fate and see if we can push this stupid sexiness globally. And
yeah,
we like global things. We like things that go around the world, and people around the world are kind of sexy too.
I mean, they tend to be.
Not sure, haven't seen them.
Who knows?
Wouldn't know, just live in Australia. Adelaide in particular. Hello, Hindley Street.
Hello.
Oh,
I
bingo. I've mentioned Hindley Street for the first time on the glass table.
was going to say, do you need me to mention, hello, the Esplanade? What's going on?
Bingo. Have you got one?
I do. So we're going global. We're going some international sports, and my one that I'm thinking of now is this league has just sort of started up in the last few weeks, and it's the Premier League. So for those that don't know, which will be pretty much everybody, because I don't think we've ever spoken about soccer or football,
Not
um,
not our
on this one
forte.
ever, other than the Tillies, because that was obvious. I'm a Liverpool fan, and we're
Yeah.
going all right at the minute. And my stupid, sexy global player is our number 4, Virgil van Dijk, the big Dutch centre back. I think it's the height that does it for me.
Well,
Big
that's a good
man,
omen.
big man, and just good looking, chiseled, good chin. He did just get a red card in his last game, which is not good.
So bad boy status.
Bad boy, he's aggressive.
Yeah.
So, stupid, sexy global player for the week is Virgil van Dijk of the Liverpool Football Club.
Rough.
Big man.
Big man that's aggressive. Knew this would take a turn.
Absolutely. What's yours?
If you waited an hour and a half to get to us to talk about stupid sexiness, then you've waited very well because this is going to go off the rails. Anyway, mine is, well, this was pretty much decided all in the last 24 hours. Because one, we decided, yes, we are going to do stupid sexy. And two, we don't really have any full players. And so we decided global. And there's a man that was dressed in red, a little bit of yellow. And obviously, Formula One's on this weekend. It's at Monza, the home of the Italians. It's Tifosi. Name's Carlos Sainz. He's Spanish, racing in a red team that's full of Italians. So a bit of difference. And there's just something about the Spaniards, stupid, sexy Spaniards.
Mm.
Triple S.
And something about the red, like just
There is something about just his, and he's not your baby face, cute. Everyone falls in love with him. He's your man looking driver.
rugged. He's a rugged
Rugged,
man.
hair all over the place. There is a GIF on F1's Twitter page at the moment that's just slow motion him getting out of a car.
Thirst trap, like full on.
Saved.
Saved for later.
Yes, because the race is later.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
I will say he put it on pole. He did a very good job. So when this comes out, we don't really know. um, Obviously, we know the result of the race, but at this current stage, it hasn't happened yet. So if it comes out and he wins, even better. If he doesn't win, well, at least we had this moment together.
off the fucking rails. Wow.
I can't look at you.
What a way to end this.
Also, we'll change topics so we can get this done. I know we're going to leave it best till last, I'll say. The AFLW obviously started this
Yes.
weekend. So I thought we should acknowledge that. Um, and our teams both sucked.
Yeah, big time. Um, we Saints played today. Port played yesterday. As of recording this, tough to watch. Like we brought in a lot of players. We have 7 new players play today. We've brought in a lot of talent that are veterans of the AFLW comp. Um, and like I don't mind like our sort of strategy because we have been a very young comp. We were obviously one of the newer sides up until last year when Port and Hawthorn and all that came in as well. So we like had a lot of young players and we needed that sort of veteran injection. And I think it's just going to take a little while for everyone to sort of mesh together and for everyone to work out exactly what's going to happen. And but like our veterans that came in was some of our best today. Steph Chochi was one of them, and then we have like our usual suspects. Hannah Priest is out there, Molly McDonald. So it's players that and they know what they're going to do, and they're going to sort of help build for the rest of the year. And it doesn't help that we played North in Tassie, one of the best teams in the comp at their home ground, especially Tassie. Not an easy fucking feat. And the same for Port, they played one of the best teams in the history of the competition. So tough weekend for both our sides to start, but rough.
Weekend for AFLW in general. Obviously, the Swans got their first ever win in the comp over GWS in a comeback. Richmond bet the Lions, kicking the last couple of the game up there as well. Obviously, Carlton won a close one against Gold Coast. So I feel like just the weekend in general, the level definitely went up a notch. There's a bit more hype
Yeah.
about this season, and I think the round one definitely culminated that all together to say, all right, here's the package deal. Round one was superb. AFLW, everyone get around it.
What I'm a big fan of, they have the rules of the last touch in between the arcs, and I love that, especially for women's footy now, where you can have that sort of more free flowing effect where you don't have to stop the game and do more stoppages, which is a thing that women's game as it is at the moment is very congested, and that's just because that's just how like their pressure and all that builds into very congested spots. So trying to release the congestion as much as they can by having that rule of last touch and things like that in between the arcs is very helpful for them. And then obviously they've got like the ball size is lower and things like that. So it's it's gonna be continuing to improve no matter what. And I think the thing is obviously women now as they get into the league, they're getting into the league and already becoming the best players in the comp because they've been playing footy since they were 9 now kind of thing. Whereas when the AFLW first started in, 2017 and things like that, they were primarily women that had played other sports and were coming over or couldn't play footy for a very long time and then had to take it up again at like older ages kind of thing. So it's just going to keep improving no matter what. And we've already shown that in this first round. The quality is going up and it's going to keep going up.
Look forward to round two.
Absolutely.
Hopefully our teams can get a win. Imagine that. Coincide, two Saints, ThePear. I will quickly just have a look at that, see if it matches up. Round two, AFLW
Saints, yeah, we're Saints are
play
playing
on
at Windy Hill.
Sunday.
Yeah, Saints playing at Windy Hill on the Sunday. Essendon
We
look
play.
good in their first win, so you are worried.
We play. We play Brisbane on the Saturday
Ah,
at Alberton.
right,
Oh, I was going to say I'd go, but yeah, we can't.
silly Saturday. I think I will be at Windy Hill, so if anyone here is listening that's going to be at Windy Hill on Sunday, I should be there. From Saints,
Depending on
depending on how absolutely shit faced I get the night before, I'll be there. I'll be
depending
there.
on win or lose as well.
Yes, big time.
All right, so we've gone way over time. So I think we can end it there almost.
It is
We've had a
action-packed
lot
episode.
to talk about.
Yeah, action packed for an episode that didn't have any actual footy, any AFL men's footy this weekend.
We sort of went off the rails in the first part where we just talked about how shit Danger was as hosting.
Absolutely anything at all, yeah. But I mean, it was deserved. It was terrible. So,
So AFL Awards next year, cut it down to 2 hours and maybe ask us if we want to be hosts.
and get rid of half the awards, and it's fine.
Cancel AFL 360. Maybe not let the people eat.
Please let them eat while the awards are on. Don't just give them that hour block in the middle.
We've ticked every box tonight and haven't had to eat.
I will now
Something to
though.
think about. You will. I won't.
Tommy not feeling good.
I had some chips before and kind of not sitting there. So, as the Spaniards would say, vamos!
Bellissimo.
That's Italian! Forza Ferrari! Grazie a tutti.
There's